Welcome to Seven Trumpets Prepper. And guys, in this video, I want to share with you something pretty eerie and creepy. Right now, I'm driving around in my town, and the complete power grid's out. But here's the kicker. It's not wintertime. It's actually springtime, and a warm, very warm night out. And there's no power at all. I mean, I want you to look at that. Pitch black from one end to the other. And I'm not faking this. This is in the middle of town. Right in the middle of our entire town. And about to go across railroad tracks right here. I mean, nothing's working. And the point of this video that I would make is that, you know, cyber terrorism, terrorist attack, things like that, you know, I'm really starting to wake up to the fact that it is a very real and clear possibility. And our power grid in America, and you can take this or leave it, but as a guy that does alternative energy all the time, you know, our power grid is like 50 years old. That's what I'd rate it at. It ain't, I mean, all you see is new and fancy stuff getting put on buildings and all this energy efficient junk and all that, and that's great. But at the end of the day, you can see like this old power line right there that I'm driving past, the same infrastructure is still in place. And right here's a power pole in front of us that is old and ratty. And so at the end of the day, yeah, let's see. Oh, here's the store that's got backup power. Check that out. Food City's got backup power kicking on, but look, the whole parking lot's dark. Ain't that crazy? But it just goes to show you that one day the lights is going to go off. I tell people all the time, the lights are going to go off one day, and they're never going to come back on again.
That's when people attack.
And, you know, my wife was talking about earlier to me, she's like, you know, that's when people would come attack you. And I agree. That's probably when people take the advantageous moment to do that. And that's why I really want to make sure that I have a infrastructure and power grid in place at our home, because the day is coming when you can't count on the power company, you can't count on the government, and you definitely, nowadays, even during good times, you can't freaking count on them. So, I mean, my point I would make from this video is, like, I'll give you an example right here. Now, I'm passing a government building right here, and that's the local post office right over there to the right. And even they don't even have backup power. So, I mean, you can't depend on Uncle Sam later down the road. You're not going to have anybody to depend upon. I mean, everybody's without power. And the other point that I want you to think about right now is if you're a prepper, and you have backup power, you're one in probably 10,000, 20,000. I mean, you know, nobody in my town has a wind turbine. They don't have solar power. And I'm not saying this to brag. I'm saying this to make a point, is nobody is making an effort to put any preparation back for themselves as far as infrastructure goes. And so later down the road, when the sun goes down at night, welcome to dark world. You know, this is what it's going to look like. And like right here, we're about to be in the center of a subdivision in town. And
I'll turn my lights off and you can see how dark it is.
We're actually going to go check on my wife's grandmother. And you can, right here we go. We're about to go pitch black. There's a vehicle way down yonder. Nothingness. So this is the park in the center right there. So anyway, do your due diligence. Put your back preparations now. Get out away from the cities, because if you don't, what's going to happen is later on people are going to go feral because they're not going to have food, they're not going to have power, they're not going to have their utilities to get their water, and people are going to trip out. And so tonight is a great teachable moment example in a small town America. You know, this is what goes down right here in small town. Imagine this in a huge scale in New York, in LA, in Houston, Texas, in California, Beijing, China, Paris, France. You just think about these big cities, this stuff going on. So until we see you again here at Seven Trumpets Prepper Channel, guys, I hope you have a most blessed day in Yahushua's name.